Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our primetime edition of newscasts in the English language on Canal International. I'm called Marinzi. We'll begin with our top stories. Inhabitants of Kamsik Longkak neighborhood in Yaoundé woke up this morning with the lifeless body just by the wall of GTBHS, and some forensic pathology reveals assault and murder by unidentified persons. And with the advent of the new information and communication technology, gadgets like phones and computers, there has been lack of enthusiasm from a youth in some handcraft trades, as workshops are almost void of young apprentices. We talk about this in the northwest region of Cameroon. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Inhabitants of Kamsik Longkak, a neighborhood in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, woke up this morning with a lifeless body just by the wall of GBTHS, and some forensic pathology reveals assault and a murder by unidentified persons. The gruesome discovery has planted fear in the neighborhood. As we hear the following story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamo.
Gruesome discovery of a lifeless body of an inhabitant of Kamsik Longkak neighborhood precisely by the wall of Government Technical Bilingual High School in Sam in Yaoundé early this Tuesday morning. The man in his 30s is said to be a Central African residing in the neighborhood for some 3 months now. Night watch by profession, Shaw fell into the hands of the men of the underworld. In fact, once at the site, forensic pathology was carried out and it indicated assault on murder, a disturbing situation gaining roots in the area.
Ce sont des vols qui prennent plusieurs formes, c'est-à-dire des agressions qui prennent plusieurs
Robbery
formes.
in many forms, from
simples,
simple attacks to mortal aggression, like the case this morning. I think the authorities should really take an in-depth look to eradicate this that is gaining scale in the neighborhood.
Qui est en train de prendre l'ampleur dans nos quartiers.
The situation in the neighborhood is worsened by the fact that the main security factor, electricity, is not available. The Kamsik roads are without light, making the residents victims of deadly traps. The traditional chief cried out loud this morning.
Vous regardez tout le Kamsik, il est plongé dans le noir.
Like the residents are begging for timely intervention for attacks and others they are used to, but seeing a lifeless body increases fear.
And some enterprises involved in the distribution of electricity in Cameroon have decried numerous irregularities in the process and have demanded solutions to that effect from NAO and the government. The disgruntled stakeholders staged a strike action today in front of the headquarters of NAO that was in Yaoundé today. We'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of newscasts. Statistics from the Ministry of Public Health states that close to 3,000 children are born with autism in Cameroon yearly. Raising awareness on how to live with people in this condition is gaining grounds across Cameroon. Our reporter Saleh Sharifa has been talking with some experts here in the city of Douala. Her story.
Henriette can now move around in public freely with her 7-year-old son. He has been a patient suffering from autism. After exchanging with various organizations who came from different countries with the concept Salon d'Autisme, she is able to manage her son's illness. Parents are used to hiding their children at home because they are ashamed and don't know how to deal with children of this condition because they are often marginalized publicly. Elsewhere, Helmin Tafak uses this opportunity to share her experience with other parents. I'm happy to find myself in an environment with people who share the same worries as I do, because I used to tell myself that I was alone experiencing this kind of situation. According to the social scientist, autistic children have potentials which should be exploited, and there are methodologies that can help them access academic concepts proposed to all normal children so that they can better be aware and respond to their environment.
Children can flourish. We are able to discover something that the child can do or the adult. So it's very important for me because I went through that.
According to the Minister of Public Health, nearly 3,000 children suffer from autism in Cameroon, reason why awareness is the main way to stop all stigmatization.
Education stakeholders here in the city of Douala say they are ready for end-of-course examinations, and that is coming up in just 3 weeks. They met with administrative authorities today in Douala to talk on preparations and also plan for the new school year. More on the story with our reporter, Saleh Sharifa.
The aim of this meeting held in Douala is to put in place preparations for official exams for the 2023 session and to prepare for the next academic school year 2023-2024 in the littoral region. Education stakeholders in the littoral region are already set, especially as examinations come up in 3 weeks. A selection test for the recruitment of 3,000 teachers as part of the fourth operation to absorb new workers into the contracting program for teachers in nursery and primary education.
Youth unemployment rate in Cameroon remains high, a disturbing problem to some stakeholders who have taken upon themselves to change the narrative. It is the objective of a youth employment or empowerment incubation center in the city of Douala. In just 1 year or after 1 year of creation, they can boast of empowering more than 100 youth. More in the following story. Youth unemployment in Cameroon stands at approximately 5%. The job market is saturated and many are still lagging in skills after obtaining their certificates. Conscious of these shortcomings, entrepreneurial skills are gradually opening up for self-employment. One of such openings is offered by the Boris Bisson Empowerment Incubation Center.
So we start with a change of mindset, and that goes along with business development, it goes along with marketing. We have a whole ecosystem that help all the service providers and product designers and product developers to benefit of this ecosystem.
The lawmaker, what we do, because actions like this need to be supported by the government. So what we do is to make sure that policies are put in place so that projects like this, like you heard from Mr. Boris, poverty alleviation, change of mindset, mentorship. This is what we want in Cameroon.
Inaugurated 1 year ago, the incubation has been applauded for its role in accompanying youths between 18 and 35.
Just as our mission is alleviating poverty and job scarcity through entrepreneurship and shared knowledge, we have had not just startups, we have had SMEs here, small and medium-sized enterprises, that's evidently clear that they have made great progress. We have Thalia Juice, that is health-oriented drinks, and we have WS for Ed, that is tackling education.
And incubator structures are well placed to help them First of all, to have good ideas in terms of project, but also to build them around to everything you can see as a social change.
A sports walk was organized in Bonaberry to mark the first anniversary of the Incubation Center, which coincides with the 137th edition of the International Labour Day. With the advent of new information and communication, technology, gadgets like phones and computers, there has been lack of enthusiasm from youth in some handcraft trades, as workshops are almost void of these apprentices. A reporter in Bamenda visited some mechanic and carpentry workshops. His story.
In quest of daily bread, these workers are involved in various trades in the predominantly informal sector in the Northwest region. Mechanics, panel beaters, motor electricians, and carpenters, among others, they labor from dawn to dusk.
In the long run, they will be a good technician, because now what I can advise them is that if they are doing it there in school, they should also come to the garage and do practical, so that they will get it on.
To ensure continuity, they have pieces of advice for youngsters who are today faced with a variety of temptations, top among which is an unquenchable early thirst for money.
To deliver any work to a customer, now you need to give like something that you could deliver in 1 week. You need to give like 2 weeks now, because you need to work with the few ones you have now.
You have a quick cash. So they just manipulate phone with all the technologies that have come today. They to have those quick cash, which we suffer them in that case because and there are some they want to run bed by so that they can have that quick cash net and eat. There are some that want to even go and push bed that truck.
Almost a preserve for the male, it is actually rare to find women, as we did not stumble on any during our tour along some streets of Bamenda on the occasion of the 137th edition of the International Labour Day.
The Ministries of Secondary Education and Vocational Training have been committed to improve access quality secondary education. The sum of 73 billion franc CFA has been allocated to that effect. As we hear the following report with our reporter Gladys Ambu Tiba.
The projects for the development of secondary education and skills growth targets young people, especially girls, in public and private schools around the country. The sum of 73.67 billion franc CFA has been allocated to ensure the project comes to fruition.
And so we have already selected the institutions of secondary education that are going to earn the money to do but we are telling you that we have changed the paradigm, and that we have changed the curriculum, and that different things are going to be taught. Different trades are going to be taught. Trades that will help the students get the jobs that they are looking for or create the jobs.
Of the 112.4 million euros, the equivalent of the 73.67 billion franc CFA allocated for the project, a chunk will be used for the training of trainers. 7 government ministers were therefore present in Douala April 28, 2023 to launch the project.
Il faudrait que cette formation réponde aux standards internationaux.
There is need that this training respond to international standards, and to begin with, we have to give the selected public schools a subvention of 600 million francs CFA, while selected private institutions will receive 200 million CFA francs. The money is destined for rehabilitation, purchase of equipment, and training of trainers. Continuous training, because small and medium-sized enterprises are in need of skilled workers. As such, between 1,500 to 2,000 actors in small and medium-sized enterprises will also be trained. The efforts put in by the World Bank and the government of Cameroon is aimed at improving equitable access to secondary education and vocational training adapted to the job market.
And that was it for this edition. Thanks so much for watching. Take another rendezvous same time tomorrow. But coming up next is The Brief with Legal Pioji. From me, it's goodbye.